Everyone. So we are back in Lynn Matava's kitchen today. Lynn is a nutrition educator with the University of Maryland Extension.
And this week, Lynn has a recipe for red lentil curry. Let's check it out.
Today we're cooking up a flavorful one-pot meal that is filled with nutrition. Plus, I'll share a few reasons why eating more plant-based meals can be a huge benefit for our health. We're going to make a curried red lentil dish today. And lentils are a powerhouse of nutrients. They have so much protein and so much fiber, and they're just really full of all sorts of vitamins and minerals, and they rival soy in comparison to meat when we talk about having a good amount of protein. So another great thing about lentils is that they cook up in really quick amounts of time. They cook faster than any other bean, so this whole dish from beginning to end will be ready in about 30 minutes flat, which is another great reason we want to put this on our table. So what we're going to do, basically we're putting everything in one pot, and we're going to start by adding a couple tablespoons of oil, the oil of your choice. Now you could use something like coconut oil, it would give a great flavor. Be warned, that is higher in saturated fat, so if you want to lower that some here in this dish, we're going to instead put something like olive oil in there, and then we're going to cook a medium onion over a medium-low heat for about 8 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. To that we're going to add 1 to 2 garlic cloves, about a tablespoon or so of shredded ginger, and you could also just replace that with a teaspoon of dried ginger if you don't have the fresh stuff on hand. This is pretty available in the grocery store though. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of Caribbean or Jamaican curry powder. And we're going to stir this all together for about another minute, get a good flavor going, be careful not to burn that garlic, and then we're going to dump in a 14-ounce can of crushed or chopped tomatoes. I used a fire roasted today, which gave it a little smoky flavor. Then we're going to add in 3/4 of a cup of red lentils. Again, these cook up so very quick, and these are the fastest cooking of all the lentils, so this is a healthy plant-based meal in no time. After that, we're going to add in a can of light coconut milk, and I'm just going to reserve a little bit off the top for garnishing this later. There's that hard, saturated, solidified layer that is on the top, and we're going just to save a little bit of that for drizzling over at the end. And basically, we're just going to put this on the stove for about 25 minutes. Let it come to a boil, turn it down to medium-low. It'll thicken, and what we have is this great, delicious, fragrant smelling stew that's ready to serve. I'm just going to add in here some fresh cilantro. And then when you dish this into bowls, it's really great if we just pour some into a nice bowl here. You could eat this like a stew, like I'm doing here. Serve it with a couple lime wedges would be great. It's really great also served over rice or with some rice. You could throw a couple of grilled shrimp in there if you wanted a little bit of added protein and this plant-based wasn't enough for you. But really, this is a hearty, delicious, and flavorful meal. Eating plant-based is such a great way to add benefit to our health. It's going to give our body more fiber, which is going to help with digestion. It's going to also kind of lighten the caloric load that we have, lighten our impact on the earth by eating a little bit less meat, and it's going to help us with our long-term health and longevity, just benefits that we have from all those polyphenols and things that we're finding inside of these bright orange. We know there's good antioxidants in every time we have a bright, colorful food here in nature, so we're going to be adding all sorts of anti-inflammatory action into our diet, and keeping ourselves fuller longer, and the list goes on and on. So I really hope that you give this plant-based meal a try, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy!